Hello, I'm Steve. Thanks for visiting the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for ideal patio comfort. Check out our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful, as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. Alright, here we have this residential application, and we have the floor plan as well as the elevation. So you can see here we have a 12 foot by 20. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for right now. And I'll just throw in our dimensions that we have just so you can see that we're on the same track. All right, and you can see here 20 feet by 12 feet. There is this little nook that comes out into the patio. There are windows and windows on this wall, as well as I think over here as well. I did place those in there, but that's okay. Overall, we have this 8 foot by 12 foot slope on the ceiling. Now this patio is completely screened in, so I don't have this screened in just because it helps me to maneuver through the model a little bit easier. But yeah, so the whole area will be screened in completely. And let's see if there's anything else. Yes, there is a fan located into the center of the patio, so I just have it placed exactly in the center here and then centered between this 12 foot span. All right, and I also just made it so that it's distance down from the ceiling is the same distance as these beams going across. Also, you can see that there are two skylights up here, and all right, let me go ahead and turn those off. Now, with the skylights and the fans, there are issues that we need to work around, obviously. So I'm going to give you a couple of different options. Now, this option here would be using two of the 6,000 watts or 4,000 watt units. If you went with a 6,000 watt unit, you would definitely want a control system for that, because this would be fairly intense most of the time. However, the 4,000 watt will put the same footprint of heat down. It's just not as intense. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. Footprint of heat, you can see I got this at about 20 degrees from straight down, 20 degrees up. And you can see our footprint of heat is fairly decent. However, if you're on this side of the patio, you're much warmer than the ray casted all the way over to this side over here. Also, you should note that the table will absorb the infrared light wave, so it doesn't actually pass through here, so your legs will be a little bit cooler than they would be over here. You can also see that the coverage is fairly decent for this 20 foot span here. We're pretty much capturing the whole 20 foot this direction. It's just that on this side over here, it's not as intense as it is over here. And you might also notice I have these floating in air, because one issue that we did see here is in regards to the elevation of the fan in relationship to the heaters. We need to make sure that we're not penetrating this fan blade. If this fan blade is non-combustible, then it's okay. We can move the heaters up a little bit, or if this fan is actually a different dimension than what I have here, which is about a 5 foot diameter fan, then also it would be okay. Also, if we were to be able to move the fan up higher, I'm not quite sure how high this fan can go with this slope and the blade, touching the ceiling, something of that nature. So that is why I have them floating in midair, kind of. So just bear that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and look at a different option, and I'm going to turn that off. And so a second option would be to place 3 units, one on the left, one on the right, and then one in the center. And you can see with this option here, again, we're getting a fairly good coverage. And these are, again, 6,000 watt units, but you can easily change this to a 4,000 watt unit. Now you can mount them 6 inches off the edge over here. You can see here's the clearance here, so you just have to swing this bar over to this edge here and turn it to approximately 20 degrees up, maybe even 30 degrees up, 40 degrees up if you're so inclined. So that would be true over here. We still have that issue with regards to the fan, and let's go ahead and turn that on here, and you can see this is that issue again. We need to make sure that this this heater here isn't penetrating the fan blade, the clearance of the heater itself. So this clearance here is 18 inches out, and that fan blade is in that distance. Now, one thing you'll note that the ray itself isn't penetrating the fan, it's just the clearances to combustible materials that you need to follow. Alright, so that would be the second option. And then the final option, and actually I should say I believe this is probably my favorite option of the three, but here we'll go with the third option, which is also a very good option, with the exception of we're not covering the whole span. So I like this option just based on the fact that the heat ray is uniform throughout the whole space. However, yeah, we're not covering the whole space, so that's another issue. But I should mention here, we do have them centered within the patio, that 12 foot. You may want to just move these heaters over slightly. And before I do that, I want to just show you that we do need to meet that clearance to combustibles over here. So it's got to be 18 inches from this edge to this outer wall. I'm not sure of the whole true dimension of how far out this wall comes, but you can see with it being centered in the patio that we're not really capturing over here. We're throwing a lot of heat over here where we don't need it. So if it's possible to just move the heaters, maybe 6 to 8 inches, so that would be 6. Let's just go with 12. There's 12. Now it's off centered as far as the visual aspect, but you got a better coverage on the outer side, or the outside edge here over here. Alright, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. And again, please tap that like button. We do not advertise, we're not monetized, therefore YouTube does not promote our channel unless we receive your thumbs up. And so we thank you very much for that. Have a great day.